minute. Who are you?
A few moments later.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Dawalia Putri. You can call me Zahwa. I am from the Communication Study Department. Here I would like to explain my English project. The first project is about smoking in campus environment. And for the second project, I will explain the simple present tense. I will start by explaining the first project, which is about smoking on campus. A campus is a place where we build our future, both academically and socially, by creating a smoke-free campus environment. We not only protect individual health, but also create a more comfortable and productive atmosphere for learning. Smoking is a habit that has been around for a long time and has become a part of many people's lives. However, as knowledge about health develops, more and more research show the negative impact of smoking, both for smokers themselves and for those around them. Therefore, it is important for us to discuss seriously in campus environment. Smoking on campus is a complex issue that often sparks debate. On the one hand, campuses are considered space for freedom of expression, including the habit of smoking. However, on the other hand, the negative impacts of secondhand smoke on individual health and the surrounding environment cannot be ignored. Smoking on campus not only affects smokers themselves, but also their friends and the people around them. Cigarette smoke contains thousands of harmful substances that can pollute the air and affect the health of others, especially non-smokers. Students who are forced to inhale secondhand smoke can experience respiratory problems, eye irritation, and even long-term health risks. In addition to physical impacts, smoking also affects mental health. Many students who smoking admit to using cigarettes as a way to cope with stress. However, research shows that smoking can actually worsen anxiety and depression. Additionally, nicotine addiction can interfere with study concentration and academic productivity. The impact of smoking on campus. Health impact. Cigarette smoke contains thousands of harmful chemicals that can cause serious illnesses such as lung cancer, heart disease, and respiratory problems. Continuous exposure to secondhand smoke can also impair concentration and reduce study productivity. Environmental impacts. Cigarette butts discarded carelessly pollute the environment and damage ecosystem. Additionally, cigarette smoke contributes to air pollution and disrupt the comfort of non-smokers. Campus image. A clean and healthy campus attracts prospective students and enhances the institution's reputation. Conversely, a campus associated with a large number of smokers can create a negative impression. Campus should be a place that support the health and well-being of its occupants. Many educational institutions are now beginning to implement no smoking policies in certain areas to create a cleaner and healthier environment. This policy aims not only to protect the health of students but also to preserve the beauty of the campus environment. The importance of education about the dangers of smoking should be increased among students. Awareness campaign about the health risks of smoking and the benefit of quitting can help change attitudes and habits. Activities such as seminar, workshop, or support group for those who want to quit smoking can be a positive step toward change. So, as students, we have a responsibility to maintain our campus environment. If we see our friends smoking in prohibited areas or endangering the health of others, we should remind them in a kind and polite manner. We can be agent of change by setting a positive example for our friends. Conclusion: smoking on campus is a complex issue involving health, social, and environmental aspects. With the right approach through education and supportive policy, we can create a healthier campus for everyone. Let us work together to make our campus environment cleaner and smoke-free for a better future. I'll explain the second project, which is about the simple present tense. But the simple present tense is used to express regular action, routines, or habits that occur daily. It can also be used to state facts that are generally true. Function of the simple present tense. The simple present tense is used to express general truth, habit, instruction, and fixed schedule. General truth. These are universal facts that are always true. Example, the earth revolves around the sun. Habit. These are actions that are repeated regularly. Example, I wake up at 6 a.m. every morning. Instruction. These are command or order. Example, please close the door. Fixed schedule. These are events that occur at a specific time. Example, the train leaves at 7 p.m. Simple present tense formulas. Positive sentence. Subject plus verb 1 plus s or is plus object. Example, she study English. Negative sentence. Subject plus do or does plus not plus verb 1 plus object. Example, she does not study English. Yes or no question. Do or does plus subject plus verb 1 plus object. Example, does she study English? Explanation of do and does. Use do for subject I, you, we, they. Use does for the subject he, she, it. Now let's discuss the patterns, which can be divided into two types: pattern for nominal sentence and pattern for verbal sentence. Let's delve deeper into each one. Simple present tense for nominal sentence. A nominal sentence is a sentence that expresses a state of being such as a person name, profession, place, or anything that can be nominalized. 3-4. The predicate is in the form of to be, is, are. For nominal sentence, there are four types of sentence: positive, negative, interrogative, and interrogative with WH question. Sentence structure: positive form, used to express affirmative statement. Structure: subject plus to be plus complement. Example: she is a doctor. Negative form, used to express negative statement. Structure: subject plus to be plus not plus complement. Example: they are not students. Interrogative form, used to ask yes or no question. Structure: to be plus subject plus complement. Example: is it a cat? Interrogative form with WH question, used to ask questions starting with question word like who, what, where, et. Structure: WH question plus to be plus subject plus complement. Example: where is the book? A verbal sentence, expression, an action, or a state. Thus, the predicate consists of a verb 1. The verb used must be the base form, verb 1. Again, it must be verb 1. Why? Because the simple present tense is a present tense, meaning now or at the present time, so the correct verb is verb 1. Just like noun phrases, there are also 4 types of verb phrases: positive, negative, interrogative, and interrogative with WH question. Positive form, for positive verb sentence, the pattern is subject plus verb 1 or verb 1 plus is or s plus complement. The verb can be used in the base form without is or s or with the s or is ending, depending on the subject. Remember the subject table we discussed earlier. If the subject is I, you, they, we, or a plural noun, use the verb without is or is. If the subject is he, she, it, or a singular noun, use the verb with as or is. For example, I read a letter, or he goes to school. Negative form. Next, we move on the negative form. For negative verb sentence, the pattern is subject plus do or does plus not plus verb 1 plus complement. Remember, for negative form, we insert not to express negation or denial. For example, they do not know where to go, or she does not bring an umbrella. Do not and does not can be shortened to don't and doesn't. Interrogative form. For interrogative verb sentence, the pattern is do or does plus subject plus verb 1 plus complement plus yes or no. Don't forget to use a question. For example, does he bring the book? Or do you like it? Similar to noun phrases in the interrogative verb sentence, to be is also placed at the beginning of the sentence, so to be here acts as the question word. An adverb of frequency is a word that tells us how often something happens. In the simple present tense, this adverb provides information about habits or routines such as always, usually, often, sometimes, and never. Typical adverbs of frequency are placed after the verb to be and before the main verb in a sentence. For example, she always studies in the library. We use the simple present tense a lot in everyday conversation because it helps you share information about our routines and facts in a clear and correct way. If we know how to use the simple present tense well, we can speak English better.